The threat of unification or fusion still looms between the Dominican Republic and Haiti. The article from the Huffington Post entitled, "Dominican Republic and Haiti. Is it time for an island reunification?" contains the usual lies with the hope of brainwashing the newer generations of Dominicans who do not know their history. This article presents a whitewashed version of history. For example, the author states that the Haitians simply crossed over into the Dominican Republic to free slaves. She conveniently glosses over the genocide that occurred during this event. The genocide of white Dominicans and light-skinned mulattoes. The men were killed. Approximately 40 infants were beheaded. The women and remaining children were dragged by foot to Haiti to be tortured, abused, and killed. This event is well documented and is not a fallacy as the author suggests. She insults the Dominican people by referring to this time as a unification when it was in fact the Haitian occupation of the Dominican Republic which lasted 22 years. During this invasion, the Haitians used the Dominicans to pay off their debt to France. It was not simply a military invasion to free black slaves. They imposed a brutal rule on Dominicans. Several Dominicans joined forces and overthrew the foreign Haitian invaders and re-established Dominican independence in 1844. This is known as the restoration of Dominican independence as a sovereign nation. It was not simply a group of slavers loyal to the Spanish crown as the author would have you believe. In typical one-sided fashion, she portrays the Haitians as innocent victims and brings up Trujillo and the Parsley Massacre. She calls it an ethnic cleansing while downplaying and erasing the ethnic cleansing that took place during the genocide of Dominicans. To add insult to injury, she in fact tries to suggest that such events are lies. She alludes to the Dominican genocide and says the children are fed accounts of grievous incidents and anachronistic fables to fan the flames of perpetual discord. It is not uncommon for Haitians to deny this genocide. Additionally, in typical fashion she states that Dominicans deny their African heritage. This is a common tactic used by Afrocentrics often to portray the Dominicans and Haitians as one black people. All of this is done to get the Dominicans to think of themselves as the same as Haitians and join together as one nation. This theory fails because you have other examples where two groups fully recognize each other as black or African descendants. For example, Bahamians and Haitians and Jamaicans and Haitians. Both the Bahamians and the Jamaicans have a long-standing animosity with the Haitians and deport Haitians from their respective countries. You also have tribes that went to war against each other in Africa. Therefore, trying to get all Dominicans to call themselves black will accomplish nothing. Not to mention that the Dominican Republic is in fact a mixed majority nation with a 15 to 16% ethnic white Dominican population. A fact the Afrocentrics often neglect to acknowledge. The author goes on to state that Haiti swallows almost 20% of Dominican exports. Another common theme brought up by Haitians. Haitians are free to accept imports from other countries like the United States as the author mentions or nearby Jamaica. However, Haitians choose to import the Dominican goods as those goods are cheaper since they travel over by land in trucks rather than by ships over the sea. If this level of Dominican import troubles the author so much, it is puzzling how she advocates a unification between the two countries. While not all Haitians have this opinion, there are many like the author and also other imperialistic outside forces such as the United States, Canada, Great Britain, and France who would like to see the union of the two countries. They see the Dominican Republic as the solution to Haiti's failed state. This is why years after the 2013 Dominican court decision we continue to see false articles from the press stating that the Dominican Republic stripped thousands of Haitians of Dominican citizenship. This is legally incorrect. The Dominican Republic did not have birthright citizenship. That is a lie the media keeps repeating. A lie told 1,000 times is still a lie. The Haitians in the Dominican Republic were never Dominican citizens. The Dominican Republic did not change its law in 2010 or 2013. It simply never had birthright citizenship. Throughout history, Haiti has militarily invaded the Dominican Republic numerous times. The Dominican Republic has never invaded Haiti, not one single time. This plot to create a fusion between the two countries or to have a unification has existed for many years. You will notice how many articles talk about anti-Haiti attitudes and denial of blackness. This is all designed to get the Dominicans to think of themselves as the same people as the Haitians. You will also see articles talk about the unification of Hispaniola, when in reality they are referring to the Haitian occupation of the Dominican Republic. They change the name to whitewash history and downplay the atrocities that happened during that time. They want to make the idea of unification more acceptable to Dominicans. Many times, they will deny this and claim it's a conspiracy theory by Dominicans. Make no mistake. It's not a conspiracy. It's a real threat. Just look at all the articles cited here that have proposed this idea. And all of those who propose a fusion neglect one thing. No Dominican wants such a thing. After all, that's why the Dominican Republic freed itself from Haitian rule in 1844 and remains free today.